Hello everyone and welcome to Children's Church Online. I'm Felicia Baumgartner.
And I am Lydia Sims. And today, Felicia and I have each brought an item to share with you that reminds us of a special time, place, or event in our lives. So, I have brought you my car keys. And no, you can't drive my car. But I wanted to show you, I have two keychains that I carry with me wherever I go to help me remember about good times in my life. And the first is a 4-H keychain with rainbow beads on it. And each of the beads represents one of the pillars of character that we would always teach when I worked at 4-H. And so this reminds me of all of the kids that I worked with when I worked at 4-H for 5 years. So that's what I did before I moved to Waxahachie. And I also have another keychain on here that represents my time with the Girl Scouts and being a Girl Scout leader for Adelaide and her friends. So I've done that for a really long time too. So I carry the memories of all the kids I've worked with on my keychain, and it makes me very happy.
The item I brought today is a photo. And it is a photo of me and the civil rights leader, Clara Looper from Oklahoma. She was a very important woman in Oklahoma history. She's since passed away, but when I went to college, I was awarded a scholarship in her name, and I got to meet her, and she spoke to us, and it was a very, and still is, a very important time of my life. And I actually have this photo hanging in my office near my college diploma, because if it wasn't for her giving me this award, I wouldn't have got that diploma. So I keep it in my office all the time. If you ever come to my office, you'll see it. I'm sure that you guys also have things in your homes that help you remember special people, events, or places.
That's right, and today we're actually going to be continuing our study of Joshua. And at this point, Joshua and the Israelites have been traveling to the Promised Land for years. We've been talking about this with the story of Moses now into Joshua for weeks now. And we're going to be talking about today the moment that they actually cross the Jordan River and enter the Promised Land. And this is a moment in time in their history that they are going to want to remember forever.
God wanted to make sure that they would remember, so he had them build something to remind them. So each time that they saw it, they would remember the time that they crossed the Jordan to go to the Promised Land. Can you guess what it is that they might have built? Let's check out our scripture and video to find out.
When the entire nation had finished crossing the river over the Jordan, the Lord said to Joshua, "Pick 12 men from the people, 1 man per tribe. Command them, pick up 12 stones from right here in the middle of the Jordan, where the feet of the priests had been firmly planted, bringing them across with you to put them down in the camp where you are staying tonight." Joshua called for 12 men he had appointed from the Israelites, 1 man per tribe. Joshua said to them, "Cross over the middle of the Jordan up to the Lord your God's chest. Each of you lift up a stone of his shoulder to match the number of the tribes of Israelites. This will be a symbol among you. In the future, your children may ask, 'What do these stones mean to you?' Then you will tell them that the water of Jordan was cut off before the Lord's covenant chest. When it crossed over the Jordan, the water of the Jordan was cut off. These stones will be an enduring memorial for these Israelites." The Israelites did exactly what Joshua ordered. They lifted 12 stones from the middle of Jordan, matching the number of tribes of Israelites exactly as the Lord had said to Joshua. They put them over to the camp and put them down there. Joshua also set up 12 stones in the middle of Jordan, where the feet of the priests had stood while carrying the covenant chest. They are still here there today. Now let's check out the video.
The Faithful Hall of Fame, Joshua. This is Joshua.
Hello.
Joshua was the leader of the Israelites, who God would use to take his people into the Promised Land.
Yeah, let's do it.
Joshua readied his people to cross the Jordan River, which was the only thing dividing the Israelites from the land that God had promised to them.
All right. Right here. Okay.
They camped beside the river for 3 days, waiting, just as the Lord had commanded them. At this time of year, the Jordan River was flooded and flowing with so much water that it was impossible to cross on foot.
And then the Lord said, "Let there be light." Hey, priest. Yes? Come on.
God told Joshua to tell the people that the priests would carry the Ark of the Covenant and lead the people through the water. He told the priests to step into the rushing waters,
What? Huh?
and when they would do this, the waters would stop flowing.
What?
And as soon as the priests did this, the water of the Jordan River did stop flowing,
Yeah.
and the priests stood with the Ark of the Covenant on dry ground as the Israelites crossed to the other side.
All right.
God told Joshua to send 12 men from the 12 tribes of Israel
Go get it.
to take 12 stones from the place that the priests were standing. When all this had been finished, as God commanded, Joshua called the priests from the Jordan.
We're good. Come on.
As their feet left the Jordan River, the waters came back into place, just as they had been.
Wow. Yeah.
They brought their stones to their camp and set them as a memorial, so future generations might remember the story of how God brought his people through the Jordan River on dry ground.
Doesn't this feel like deja vu? Didn't the Israelites already face a situation like this, where they came across a large body of water and they couldn't cross it? Do you remember that? That's right, when they were with Moses, they came upon the Red Sea, and Moses was able to part the Red Sea so they could cross. And in this case, Joshua leads the Israelites to the Jordan River, a large body of water that they can't cross. Doesn't our scripture say something about this? But the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. That's what I thought. The Lord was with the Israelites, with Moses and now with Joshua, to help them cross these bodies of water.
But we forget so quickly. Sometimes it's just really hard to remember.
That the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go.
Wherever you go. We can sometimes forget what it is God has done for us. And that's why Joshua ordered this monument to be made of the 12 stones, each stone for a different tribe of Israel. He wanted to have this there so that they would always remember what happened on that day.
And we have a lot of monuments and memorials in our country to help us remember the events and stories of our country's past, both good and bad. So we're going to play a little game to see if you can guess some of the United States monuments.
Name that monument!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the game show Name That Monument. I'm Felicia Baumgartner, your host for today, and I'll be taking you through our game. The way we play is I will show you some monuments throughout the United States, and you will have to tell me which monument they are. Let's get started. Our first monument looks very familiar, doesn't it? That's a pretty famous man up there. Let's see if you can guess What is the name of this monument? The Lincoln Memorial, the Penny Memorial, or the Night at the Museum statue? You're right, it's the Lincoln Memorial. This memorial commemorates the life of the United States' 16th President, Abraham Lincoln. That memorial is located in Washington, D.C. Next, we have this beautiful monument outside with some beautiful background landscape. Can you guess which one it is? Is it the American Indian Memorial, the Cowboys and Indians Memorial, or the Crazy Horse Memorial? It's the Crazy Horse Memorial. This memorial celebrates the culture, tradition, and living heritage of North American Indians. It is located in Crazy Horse, South Dakota. Next up, we have this beautiful memorial. I can see the Washington Monument there in the background, so that should give you a little hint of where it is. This memorial is called the Air Force War Memorial, or the Marine Corps War Memorial, or the Army War Memorial. It's the Marine Corps War Memorial, also known as the Iwo Jima Memorial, dedicated to all Marines who have given their lives in defense of the United States since 1775. It is located in Arlington, Virginia. Now, take a look at this beautiful statue. It is part of a very large memorial, and let's see if you can guess what it is. Is it the Civil Rights Memorial, the I Have a Dream Speech Memorial, or the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial? It's the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial, commemorating the life of the civil rights leader. It is located in Washington, D.C. Next up, we have this memorial. This statue is one I had not seen before today. Let's see if you can figure out what it is. Is this named When Anthony Met Stanton, When Harry Met Sally, or When Felicia Met Lydia? It's When Anthony Met Stanton. This statue is a tribute to women's rights activists. It is located in Seneca Falls, New York. Lastly, we have this memorial. It is very beautiful and one that you may know. Let's see what our choices are. Is this the Oklahoma City Bombing Memorial, the 9/11 Memorial, or the Holocaust Memorial? It is the 9/11 Memorial, honoring those who were killed during the 2001 terrorist attacks. It is in New York City, New York. Thanks for playing Name That Monument. Hope you learned a lot today. Now let's take it back to Lydia and Felicia.
To celebrate what God has done for you and to create your own memorial that you can put in your backyard, you can check out this week's activity kit. We have included this week a bag of 12 stones for you to make your own memorial at your house.
Now, let's dance to our memory verse.
Joshua 1 verse 9. Have I not commanded you? Be strong, strong and courageous. Have I not commanded you? Be strong, strong and courageous. Whoa, oh, do not be afraid, no, no. Don't be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go, wherever you go.
All right, friends, I hope you learned something new this week. I know we had a great time teaching you. I wanted to remind you that we have lots of swim parties still coming for the rest of June. Your parents received an email about it, so if you haven't got to come to a swim party yet, please sign up. We have a couple next week, and then we're going to continue them into July. So in case you're on vacation or something like that, don't worry, there will be more. Also, at our swim party we had last night, I had a lot of friends ask me when we're going to start Sunday school or midweek again. And the truth is, we don't know yet. With everything going on with COVID, and actually the cases are going up now in the state, we want to be very careful with what we do because our biggest priority is making sure that everyone who enters this building is safe. So, as soon as we have it figured out, I promise we'll tell you. What I told the kids last night is we're going to wait and see what Waxahachie Public Schools decides to do with children in large groups, and we're going to take their lead. So just keep watching, and as soon as we know, we'll let you know. We'll see you guys next week.